At the dawn of Nigeria's Fourth Republic in 1999, the People's Democratic Party emerged as a unifying force that will shape the nation's democratic experience. After 16 years under military rule, Olusegun Obasanjo, the very emblem of civilian leadership, stood before millions of hopeful Nigerians, vowing to shepherd the country towards debt relief, economic revival, and a new era of stability. Its message of continuity and cautious reform resonated deeply even as the spectre of corruption and the rising threat of insurgency in the north tested its resolve. By the time Goodluck Jonathan assumed the presidency in 2010, the party's record was mixed. Modest successes in power sector reform and a growing middle class were overshadowed by Boko Haram's brutal campaign and perceptions of cronyism. Yet, the PDP remained, in many minds, synonymous with governance itself. That perception, a double-edged sword, became its greatest vulnerability. In 2013, a faction of disenchanted PDP stalwarts joined forces with three major opposition parties to form the All Progressive Congress, pledging a coalition of change that spelled out its intent to no uncertain terms to end one-party dominance and usher in a new chapter. The APC's rise was meteoric. In 2015, Muhammadu Buhari, whose 2003 and 2007 bids rode a wave of grassroots energy and social media fervor into victory, ending the PDP's 16-year hold on power. Change begins with me, he declared, as jubilant crowds spilled into the streets. His triumph was more than a political upset. It was the affirmation that Nigeria's democracy could indeed deliver real alternation in leadership. 4 years later, Buhari secured a second term, and the APC cemented its reputation as more than just a protest movement. But underlying tensions between reformers and party leaders, between regional power brokers, were quietly coming to the fore. When the 2023 presidential contest arrived, the stage was set for a showdown that would test both major parties' capacity for renewal. On the APC side, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, once the infinitely influential godfather of Lagos, stepped up into the spotlight. A shrewd politician with decades of king-making behind him, skeptics by pledging economic revitalization and a more inclusive cabinet. Across the aisle, the PDP turned again to Atiku Abubakar, a perennial challenger whose northern-based and business-savvy resume offered a direct contrast to Tinubu's southern cosmopolitical profile. Into this duel strode a new figure, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, who captured the imaginations of Nigerians' urban youth with a message of integrity and fresh governance. Election day in February 2023 felt like the climax of a political epic. Long queues snaked around polling stations, and the social media chatter swelled in both hope and suspicion. When the results were finally announced, Tinubu prevailing by a surprisingly narrow margin, jubilation and disbelief broke out in equal measure. Legal petitions flew into the election tribunal and onto the Supreme Court. Yet, by mid-2024, the judiciary upheld Tinubu's victory. As President Tinubu assembled his cabinet, he faced a daunting task of balancing regional interests, rewarding party loyalists, and delivering on his promise of economic turnaround. Critics accuse him of leaning too heavily on old alliances, while the PDP, licking its wound, descended into introspection and, some say, fighting. Rumors of high-profile defection and leadership challenges in the PDP corridors grew louder with each passing week. Meanwhile, Nigeria's largest city simmered with debate. Inflation and unemployment loomed everyday conversations, and the both parties scrambled to reframe the coming 2027 election around cost of living relief and job creation. Security challenges in the north remained a political landmine. APC leaders defended federal initiatives, while PDP strategists vowed rigorous oversight if they were ever to return to power.
One jumping from one place to another, one political party to another is not making any sense. You are in APC today, tomorrow you hear that you're in PDP. Before you know you have jumped to Abuja. That's political party constitution. Let me put it like that. Because the fact that PDP is going down doesn't mean you should work towards the ability and the mindset of making PDP go back to its feet, not helping it go down. Because you coming out of PDP has actually decreased the members, and then you add up to APC. APC will not be feeling they have a member. Unknowing to them that once it goes down, you are gone. That's how the whole thing is going. It's not really nice. You should help, not add. Help their problem, not add to the problem. I don't think it's necessary we should have a political party in this Nigeria. The reason is because all the whole political party and stuff, they still do what they want to do. All citizens are just looking. Now, currently, they know who's going to be the president in 2023 and 2030. They already know who's going to be the president. Our vote does not even count.
Beyond the headlines, a new generation of Nigerians, the self-styled obedient and young activists, watch closely. Their allegiance no longer guaranteed by tradition or patronage. Their digital banners and hashtags persisted as a reminder that Nigeria's politics is no longer a story told solely by party bigwigs. It's a conversation that happens on Twitter, Instagram, and university lecture halls. And so the narrative continues. 2 decades after PDP's triumphant debut, and nearly a decade since APC's first claimed victory, Nigeria's democracy remains a work in progress, a vivid drama whose next chapter will be written in ballots, courtrooms, and tweets of millions. As the nation braces up for the next electoral contest, one question hangs in the air: which party, or perhaps which generation of leaders, will capture the hearts and minds of Nigeria's restless, hopeful electorate? Chisom Nwogu for Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja.